Aloha Fam Fam, this is Unity Grace. I'm taking us through another walk in the Parliament buildings after my beautiful silent LoveStream last night. I feel it's poignant to be walking through the grids and ley lines of Victoria, British Columbia, seeing as I'm calling together a retreat this weekend to run Earth Tantra through our bodies on these very important grids. So, let's see, is the sound working? Let me see, this time I'm checking. I think the sound is working. Okay, let's see. Yeah. Hi, it's me. So, super excited. There is a lot going down right now for all of us. And I just came to do, let's see if there's sound. Yes, someone said yes, there's sound. That silent transmission was so perfect last night because it was preparing us for the activations of our solar plexuses, which will allow us full telepath from our new supernatural bodies. So, look at these gardens. Let's see. They're so beautiful. Thank you, Victoria, British Columbia, for being so beautiful. Okay, so guided to share a little bit more about the gene keys. It was the best LoveStream last night, let me tell you. I hope you felt the vibration in the silence and the space between the words. It was the best LoveStream that's ever come through me. It was really profound and amazing. So it's so poignant to walk around Victoria and share this city with you. The thing that I'm guided to share tonight is about the gene keys. A little bit about the gene keys, a little bit about the Earth grids, and a little bit about the energies that we're in and the energies that are at hand with the eclipses. Now, I always say to people, I love the tool, the gene keys. It's an amazing tool. It's a great gift given to us by Richard Rudd. So, here's the book. Oops. My goodness, I'm throwing it down the stairs of the legislature. Here's the book. Gene keys, Richard Rudd, there it is. So as you guys know, because I talk about the gene keys all the time, it's a really powerful tool, especially to use right now. One of the things that the Hopi prophecy said was, at this time push off from the edge of the river. There are those who will be afraid and they will suffer greatly. It means push off from our personality. Don't cling to who we think we are at this time, because we're actually not who we think we are. So the gift of the gene keys, and I put the link on here for Gene Keys, the Gene Keys website, and you can get your free chart done. So because people ask me all the time to explain more, I'm going to explain my short version of how I use the gene keys when I'm working with clients in sessions and just people in everyday life. There's 64 building blocks in our human DNA that allow us to have this human personality in duality. And we're coming to a place, as I read in the 60th gene last night and have read many times, the end of that script that's running through these beautiful bodies and personalities. And the gene keys helps us to see that we are a script, we are a role in the play, we're playing a role in the play. And when you read the gene keys, you go, oh my God, this explains everything, my whole life makes sense now, my God. Richard Rudd, thank you for coming to planet Earth. Yeah, all the puzzle pieces come together when we read our gene keys. So here's a brief synopsis of how I simplify it for people to just get started and understand from my own work with it. if you go to the website, you can do a free chart, and you're going to get a big circle. I talked about this last night, but it was silent in the LoveStream, so you just got the love from it. You get this big circle, and at the top of the circle is what's called the life's work. It's the primary gene key. And the life's work, you could say, is what the soul came in to achieve. Then if you go down the circle, you're looking at the paper, it's going to be on the right hand side, is your evolution. And I like to say that evolution is the one that kicks us in the bum to make sure that we get busy and we get our life's work done. Because what I explained last night in my silent transmission is that the DNA is like a Jacob's ladder, and it's designed to fill with light. So yeah, let's keep walking around the city like we did last night. What the heck? Feels better when I move. Okay, one more view of the beautiful lights, the beautiful building. So good. Okay. So, yeah, the second one is your evolution. It's the one that's going to kick you in the bum. I always say it's the thorn in the side one. So we know which one that is in our life. We read the second one, we go, oh my God, this explains that thing that keeps circling over and over in my life. The third gene key, you go across your circle to the left-hand side, is called the radiance. And I like to say that the radiance is the Christmas gifts that we and our higher self packed before we came here, called synchronicities, magic and miracles. And those synchronicities start to show up in our life when we're actually doing our work, because our evolution has, can you see my foot, kicked us in the bum to get us to do our work. And then the radiance starts to activate, which is the surprises that make life joyful and go, they have us go, that was really cool. There's something super cool going on here. And I'm going to keep following these carrots that are dangling, called synchronicities. Okay. Then if you go to the bottom of the circle, that's called the purpose. I did such a great explanation of the purpose last night in the miracle. It's okay. We're going to sit by these beautiful begonias. Hang on. Let's get the flowers in. How gorgeous is that? Thank you, nature. Okay, so the purpose, as Richard Rudd points out, is locked in our DNA. And what that means is, I always say to people, here's what I say. I say, I'm going to show you your blueprint, but you're not your blueprint. And I'm a blueprint buster. So the purpose being, hi, what a nice doggy. I love dogs. The purpose being, we are all basically designed to contribute to the collective. And the purpose is locked in our DNA. It's not something we have to go to a school counselor to figure out. What is my purpose? What am I going to do the rest of my life? The purpose is built inside of us, and it's something that we give every day. It's just kind of a natural way of being. It's our natural state. And it's actually really hard to hold our purpose back. We don't even realize that we're giving our purpose. So, for example, my purpose is the fifth gene, and that's the one that tracks the timing and synthesizes things and has access to the entire digital library. So we are programmed as a species to wake up through the raising of our vibration, which is happening because the raising of the Earth's vibration is happening, and we are made of the Earth. That's what the indigenous keep trying to remind us. Pay attention to the elementals because we're made of them. Give them honor, love, and respect because they allow the synthesis of particles into form that give us bodies to be in, our spirit, infinite in potential, infinite in possibility. And yeah, as we activate as a species, as we start to unify and raise our vibration collectively, our purpose naturally flows from us, and it is what we gift to the world, because we're really all meant to fit together as this beautiful, amazing puzzle. And the only commitment we have to make every day is where we want to keep our vibration. And this is something that the Star Knowledge Bundles, which I also talk about, I love you, Chief Golden Light Eagle and Grandma Silver Star and Chief Blue Star and all the Star Knowledge family. So the Star Knowledge Bundles are a different language. Richard Rudd really simplified the I Ching for the Western mind. I say that it's the modern I Ching. To understand that we're just in these archetypal blueprints. So a really important part of this is to not get stuck on the archetypes as we start to awaken our consciousness. So there's different archetypal forms that we will move through, and those archetypal forms start to cohese different fractals of the consciousness. So different people start to relate to each other on a higher archetypal level. So a lot of people relate to the Christ energy, the Jesus Magdalene, and a lot of people will relate to the Buddha. And the thing that's so beautiful about the Gene Keys when you read them is you go, oh, there's infinite ways home. And I always say to people, if you're not Jesus, don't be Jesus. If you're not Buddha, don't be Buddha. Be you. Do you. And let stories be written about you as an archetype on your way home, showing how to do it. Because that's the beauty and essence of it. So in regards to the archetypal aspects of who we are, they are stepping stones, or they are rungs on the ladder of the raising of our consciousness, but we're not supposed to get stuck in them. So it's okay to go through the archetypes as a learning process, but when we're done with them, let them go too. Because in order to be infinite in potential and possibility, in order to activate our supernatural gifts, we are working towards releasing everything that we are. And, you know, Dr. Joe Dispenza, who I also talk about a lot, check out his book, Becoming Supernatural. And his CDs, lots of people are downloading his meditations and saying, thank you for telling me about Richard Rudd, for telling me about the Gene Keys, for telling us about the Star Knowledge Bundles. You're welcome. We are welcome. Let's all get into the sandbox at a higher vibration and play together. So, okay. So the beautiful thing, because so many people nowadays just say, like, I just want to know what my purpose is. I just want to know how I fit in. And when people know their purpose and they know where they fit in, then we have an awakened humanity. Because now everyone has a part and a role to play. And it's not the old role of duality and drama and polarity. That's what we're letting go of. The death of drama. It's programmed in the 55th gene, which is where all the codes for the new Earth are. So we're in a Mars retrograde. And Mars retro my dear friend Peter Tung, gave me a really good metaphor for the Mars retrograde. He said it's like putting your foot on the gas pedal and the car isn't going anywhere. So Mars is about doing, and when we put our foot on the gas pedal and the car doesn't go anywhere, we maybe get frustrated. And that's this Mars retrograde that's going on right now. So don't blame others outside of us, because our car isn't going anywhere. The car isn't going anywhere right now because we're supposed to take a deeper look at where we're at. This Mars retro is the beautiful opportunity, like these beautiful buildings. They're just so gorgeous to look at. The Mars retro is a beautiful opportunity just to sort of figure out where we are at inside of our blueprint, and how well we're doing at unplugging from the blueprint. Because the purpose of all of this is to electromagnetically disconnect the spirit from the blueprint. The pole shift on the earth is really about the energies easing up so that the spirit has the capacity to unlock or release itself from its connection to the body. We're not leaving the body, but we are disconnecting from two-strand DNA. We are disconnecting from the carbon, and we're moving into a higher frequency. That's the activation of the light in the DNA. So the death of drama is a big part of getting there. And how do we bring an end to drama in our life? By taking responsibility for our life, our story, and everything in our story. The moment that we allow our energy to go outside of ourselves, nothing wrong with that. Emotion is also an energy that helps to activate us, but not to get stuck in the story of blame. Because the moment we get stuck in the story of blame in something or someone that we're projecting on outside of ourselves, we are losing the opportunity to implode the energy back inside. The implosion through the 35th gene, the shortcut out, little secret there. By choosing to love everything in our life. Love doesn't mean gushy, this is perfect. Love just means accepting what is and dealing with the energy inside of us rather than fighting the thing outside of us. There's a great, one of my big, dear, giant friends made a post, Martin Luther King post today, and it was just about hate and, and killing haters doesn't bring an end to hate. Projecting outside of ourselves does not bring an end to the imbalance within us, and we're learning to ride the bike within us. We're learning to still the emotional waters of our being, not through suppression, but learning to understand the purpose of the ascension process. It's mechanical. It's mechanical. That's the thing. It's textbook. And Richard gave us a really good textbook to study from. Mwah. Thank you, Richard. So, okay. I'm a blueprint buster. We're not our blueprints. And then I reposted a post that I wrote a few years ago because I say this all the time. Houdini was a master of breaking out of the straitjacket. How did he break out of the straitjacket? By understanding how it worked from the inside out. How do we break out of the blueprint? It's not like we're fighting it or battling it, but how do we come to resolution with it so that the spirit and the vibration can go higher? By understanding the blueprint from the inside out, which is what the book The Gene Keys helps us to do. Then I always say, when Houdini understood how the straitjacket worked from the inside out, he understood something very important. He did not fight against it, because the moment we struggle against a straitjacket, it gets tighter. The moment we come up against our blueprint, it gets tighter. So it's about learning the edges of the blueprint and then learning to navigate and then push, just go a little bit deeper into it over and over and over, and that's what allows the vibration to increase, by learning to navigate the blueprint, like Houdini learned to navigate the straitjacket. So Houdini understood how the straitjacket worked from the inside out, and then he stilled himself with his breath, and the straitjacket fell away. The fifth gene, the one that has access to the entire digital library, has everything to do with breath, and it partners with the 35th gene, which is the shortcut out. Oh, so good. I love these codes in the DNA. So much fun. So, okay. that's a little description to help people, because so many people are ordering the books from my LoveStreams and writing to me and just asking questions. So I hope that that gives a little hand to get people started. You want to read those first 4 gene keys if you want to get a sense of the foundation of your blueprint in the order that I was talking about. And then you go into the Venus sequence, which is the numbers inside the circle. And we can talk about that in another LoveStream. Maybe Richard Rudd will talk with us about it. Okay, so next thing is the Earth grids and ley lines, which you know I talk about all the time. And these eclipse energies that are at hand, the goal is to transcend all of the structures of the current reality, and that includes the planets and all those influences on us. Because we're supernatural, let's go home to the stars, why don't we, and have some Pleiadian blue spirulina around on me. But in the meantime, we're getting ready for the dissolution of the veils. It's programmed in us. And I was guided to begin to call out people to join me here in a little retreat this weekend. 21 people for 222. That was what the guidance said. Call them together. So some people are coming in the physical, and I'm open to bringing some people in possibly by internet for portions of the retreat. But what I'm teaching is how to run the earth tantra, the kundalini of the earth through our bodies, because this is what I've been doing on the grids for the last 8 years through source guidance. And for many of us, we've been doing this for a long time, consciously or unconsciously. My teachings came to me very consciously through source and through water. And that's how I work with the grids and ley lines. And the guidance said to call the key holders together here in Victoria, British Columbia now at the time of this lunar eclipse that is coming on the 27th, 28th, the longest of the century. So we've got a solar on the 12th, which is Thursday. And then we have a lunar on the 27th, 28th, and then we have another solar eclipse on August the 11th. And by learning to run the earth tantra through our bodies, we can play a major role in the ascension of the earth and humanity consciously. And it's super fun. And super mystical things start happening when you play with the earth's kundalini, when you participate with her in benevolence and reverence. And my 8-year journey of the most mystical experiences is a complete testament. My own life has been a testament of what happens when we work with the earth's energies in benevolence for life and to assist life. So the guidance said to call together a group of people. I will still make a little written up post, but I love LoveStreams. And I've been spending my days on the phone and messaging and everything, and I just would rather talk to you right now. Yeah, so with Todd Medina, we're going to start doing some LoveStreams on Wednesday. Peter Tung is going to come on with us and talk about his trip to Nova Scotia and the energies that are unfolding astrologically and so on. We love Peter. And we're going to be doing interviews with lots of people and just inviting people who are going to be joining with us around the world, because on Saturday the guidance invited us to all collect with our groups of people, share our knowledge and wisdom. There are key holders all over the planet who will know each other and will be gathering together. You know who you are, so bring yourselves together. We're going to do a global meditation at 4:11 Pacific on Saturday. On the guidance says from 4:11 to 4:44. Even though my mind wanted to argue with the numbers, and I was like, can't we start at 3:33, or what guidance said 4:11 to 4:44 over and over. And then on Sunday, the guidance said to invite the people to go to the earth, call in the dissolution of the veils, call in the realms of the Fae and the Alvins and the Star Nations and the cetaceans and the animals and the insects and the elementals and all these beautiful energies. It is by using our sovereign authority through our word to say, we get it, we're consciously aware that this is a play, we're complete with the experience of duality, and we're ready to unify in unity consciousness and open ourselves as clear vessels for the dissolution of the veils through the 60th gene, which I read last night. And I'll read again, but I don't feel like opening the book to read right now. But the long and short of it is that it is programmed in our DNA for the Earthship Merkaba to crack and the dissolution of the veils. And when it happens in an instant. None of us really know what it means, but we know our future selves are sourcing us right now, don't we? Our future selves, our higher selves, ourselves here, all the fragmented aspects of ourselves are meeting and unifying into some great level of wholeness for the miracle that's programmed within all of us, just like the monarch butterflies are programmed to hatch all at the same time. And when they hatch, they move from crawling around on the earth to flying off into the air and the ethers. Something really cool Richard Rudd talks about is water, and he uses the metaphor of the dragonfly, the life of the dragonfly as a nymph in the water, and how it spends so much time in the water, and it's a predator when it's down in the water as a nymph. He talks about how it will eat all kinds of things in the water when it's a nymph, and then it's going through processes of metamorphosis while it's in the water, even though it doesn't know it. Same with us, but I think we pretty much know we've been going through processes of metamorphosis. The most interesting part of it to me is how he talks about water and the dragonfly. And so many of us have been working with water. I say that water adopted me on December 24th, 2010 and told me where to go and what to do to unplug the consciousness from two-strand DNA. And it's fascinating that he talks about how water is very important in the last parts of the nymph hatching into a dragonfly. The water is actually what allows the wings to unfold within hours and so on, the flooding of this water in the body. Mini Wachoni, water is life, call out signal from the Star Nations for ascension. That's why Standing Rock was so important, calling in the Rainbow Tribe. Because water is very important in this part of the process. So love water, be nice to water, be nice to all the elementals. Give great thanks to them because we're made of them. And what else was I going to talk about on here? Did I cover it all? I think I did. And the significance of making the call out for the people to come here who know they're to be here with me in Victoria, British Columbia, as I've talked about before, is that this island, Vancouver Island, holds the codes of Avalon, which is really the same thing as everything that I'm talking about here. They're the codes of the twin flame physics. That's what we do with Earth Tantra. We unify the masculine and feminine energies, the rainbow serpent lines, the masculine and feminine rainbow serpent lines of the earth. Unravel wrote a book called The Rainbow Serpent of the Light, and on my own journey many people asked me if I'd ever read his book, and I said no, I hadn't, and they all said, well, your journey sounds a lot like his. And when I finally picked his book up, I realized Unravel was working the masculine rainbow serpent line, and the guidance sent me out to work the rainbow feminine serpent line, as probably many, many other people on the planet have done. I know, because I get notes from all of you beautiful beings all the time. And I'm sending love, even though I can't respond to all of them, but I'm sending love because we're all so connected and it's so beautiful. So yes, we are running the earth tantra of the masculine and feminine lines through our body, and Avalon, Albion was about this. King Arthur and all those great stories were about divine union, twin flame physics in our heart, the singularity of our heart. That's where the energies unify. But there's something really cool coming. It's called the high heart. It's the 8th chakra, and it's the thymus gland. Even though it's controlled energetically from above, that 8th heart in the body sits here, the high heart. And the guidance has been downloading me some pretty cool things about the activation of this part of the physical vessel, which I will be sharing with those who are participating with me as key holders here on the weekend in the workshop. So if you know that's if you're one of these people, send me a message. I will go through, yes, send me a private message. And if you don't hear back, keep sending, because you know who you are. And what the guidance is showing with the 8th chakra right now is very new. I haven't seen it before, and I will be honest, until today. And the guidance said, when the key holders come together, we are going to share this activation through our 8th chakra into the earth and into these very special earth grids here in Victoria, British Columbia, Vancouver Island, coded for ascension. Thoth always told me these were the sleeper grids. When the sleeper grids were activated, ascension was a done deal, and they activated here on August 21st, 2017. So, and Richard Rudd came here and he said, we're all saints who live here, he figured, because he recognized the divine nature of this beautiful area and associated it with the 22nd gene of grace. And for the groups that are organizing all over the world, if you feel that you want to touch in with Todd Medina over the 5 days from Wednesday through Sunday, message Todd or message myself if you just want to do like 5-10 minutes, whatever, with your group, so we know which groups are connecting around the world. And then there's something really cool that the guidance showed me, because a new crop circle just came in. And the group that I've worked with the grid lines, the Rochelle grids in Crestone, Colorado, who have had anomalies in the blood since 2011, like crystals and orbs of light showing up in their blood and all this cool stuff. Hominis luminous. We work with a lot of the crop circle energies, and we go into the formations of the crop circles. And so what the guidance showed today for this global meditation is it's organizing us to form ourselves into those crop circle points, to bring in the codes of Avalon. Oh, perfect timing. Did you hear that? Big cruise ship just said right on. Confirmation. We are going to bring those coordinates into the earth as a unified field of consciousness upon this earth for those of us who know we are called to assist and work with the energies of Gaia Sophia, the earth energies, the elementals, humanity's DNA, the unlocking of the 2-strand DNA, the activation of the triple helix, which is what the journey to Egypt last year that many amazing, courageous beings took with me. There's just so much to say. So I'm keeping it concise, because this is all transmission. And I will just keep them coming. There is no you, and yet all those amazing comments that are going by, I love you all. I can't look at them in LoveStream at the same time while I see them going by, but I don't stop to read them. I don't want to say can't, but you get it. But I'm sending love because we all know our role in the play. I always say, as an oracle, what I say, take what resonates, throw the rest away. Some will love what's coming through, some won't. Some of the stuff I say will resonate, some won't. But what the oracle brings through is a transmission that knows exactly where to go to weave those who are present. And this whole love stream, there's been 77 to 81, 89 people present. It's been pretty epic tuning in. The humans are being organized through synarchy right now, which is that we're all being called into our own fractals. So if something does not resonate with us, go another way. We don't have to fight it. We don't have to project on it. We don't have to blame it. It's telling us that our fractal is somewhere else. So get busy and get those little egos out of the way and just allow the universe to organize us through our divine guidance. And some people are taking really quantum leaps. Come join here in Victoria because they know they're supposed to be here. And I say take the quantum leap over and over. That's what my journey has been role modeling for 8 years. Every fear I saw, I took the quantum leap directly into it, and the only thing I experienced was miracles upon miracles. Because love is the key, and it feels so great to be here at this point in the journey together. So that feels pretty complete for now. I'm gonna go climb into my tiny home with my unicorns upon my chest and my sacred water from around the world and head into the dream or the rest state and meet you all there in preparation and celebration, because it really is a celebration. Let's call in those star nations, dissolutions of the veil. The Gaia Sophia fleet showed up in the stratosphere in October of 2017. That's us. There's nothing outside of us. But there's a lot of cool experiences on the way. So, I love you, we love we. I bid aloha and adieu for now. Get those lovely flowers in there again. Very good. We did good this time, and the volume was up. And yesterday's love stream was just a heart opening to prepare us for this one. All right. I love you all. Shaka. We're going to be surfing with dolphins together and unicorns and horses with wings. Bless.